is the FAFO podcast. I am your host, Andrew Herman. Let's fucking talk about it. So, we're going to have a quick little introduction. My name's Andrew Herman. I spent a little over a decade in the United States military. I was Master at Arms. If you guys know who Cody Donut Operator is, he and we were in the same rate. I didn't meet him, but we did the same job. I didn't do any law enforcement in the military until my last 4 years, where I found out I didn't want to be a cop ever. It's long, it's boring, and God, it is not as much fun as it sounds. Yes, I got to carry a gun. That was super, like the best part about it. Super fun. I miss the people. I don't really miss the job per se. My first duty station was Marine Corps Security Force Battalion, Bangor, Washington, where I hung out with a bunch of Marines. Found out I could hang out with them, small numbers. Any more than about 5, I'm getting in a fight whether I want to or not. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. After that, I went to Mobile Security Squadron 5 in San Diego, California. I was there from 10 to 13. Been around the world a couple times. We had, let's see. I did Fleet Week in New York. I think that was in 2011, but I am not 100% on that. Whatever year that the USS New York came out, that was, and it was built with the steel from the World Trade Centers. I had a couple small deployments between there. I think I've been to 4 continents, 35 countries. Became a designated marksman. That was super cool. And no, a designated marksman is not a sniper. Yes, the math is the same. The shooting is sort of the same. But I didn't learn any stalking. I didn't learn any of the field craft outside of math. And yes, math. Pythagorean theorem, I hate it. I'll never write it out again. Cosine method all the way. That's all I have to say about it. Then I went back to Washington and I did base police at Bremerton Naval Base. I think it's like 5 bases, and you kind of just rotate through it. It was a good time. I liked it. So I did 10 years, 7 months, 5 days. Doing time is doing time. Whether you are in the Navy or you're in jail, you're doing time, homie. For the most part, the work was what it was. It was, some of it was fun, some of it was gay, some of it was, whatever. I missed my time in the military only because I missed the people. I had, great leadership. Good friends. My teammates were some of my favorite people. My god kids are from my time in the service. Chris, Penny, you ever watch this? Giving you a shout out. Tell them heathens. I'm always ready to see them whenever I have the opportunity. I would like to get out there and see everybody. So I've also done lots of driving schools. I became a bus driver, Humvee, Deuce and a Half. What was the other? EVOC, which is emergency operator. Sorry, what is it? EVOC. Emergency. Whatever. EVOC was fun. I liked EVOC. We got to drive fast, do some, fun stuff. I've done pursuit driving. or evasive driving. I can't remember what it was, but it was fun. I like that. J turns and whatnot. I went to. There's other driving schools. I mean, they're fun. But if you go like anywhere after like noon, it sucks. Because you're pretty much just sitting around waiting all morning, and then you finally get to go, and then the tires are hot and things slide a little more. Not as much precision driving. I'm an expert marksman in pistol and rifle. And to become a designated marksman, you have to shoot expert with rifle. I think 3 times in a row, but I did it way more than that. They sent me to designated marksman school, and I want to say that was it's not Dam Neck, it's Fort AP Hill. That's the one. Went there. They crammed about 5 weeks of information into about 2 weeks. There was some long days. I think we like the latest we would start is like 7, but most of the time I want to say it was like 6:30 every day, and then you'd go do your classroom portion, then you'd go do your range portion. After you go to the range, you go back to the classroom, and it was long days, but it was a lot of fun. I liked that a lot. Some of my best memories are from, Mobile Security Squadron 5. I decommed that command. Actually, I didn't even really decom it. I went out on a short notice mission, and they said it was going to be like a month, and then it was more like 4. So when I got back, it was we walked into what was our building, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, no, you're not here anymore. Mesron 5 doesn't exist." I was like, "What? Where do I go? I just got back from being on mission. Where am I going now?" And they're like, "Oh, most of you guys got administratively moved to Mobile Security Squadron 3, and some of you guys went to 32nd Street or North Island or whatever." And it was like 3 of my friends that ended up going to 32nd Street and North Island, so I didn't get to really hang out with them as much. But went to Mesron 3. They went through several name changes, as well as I think 6. But by the time I left, they had kind of landed on Coastal Riverine Squadron 3. I had a good time there. I left. I want to say I was gone for like a year. If you guys remember when the Iranians picked up the patrol boat with I think there's 12 people that got picked up. Yeah, that was Riveron 3. And when I was at my next command, which was in Bremerton, Washington, I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew that's what was going to happen. I knew it. There were some people there that shouldn't have been there. I mean, it is what it is. You can't really be too upset about it because you're not the guy that's making the calls. So when you have a chain of command that's awesome like mine was, and then they all leave right before you do, and then you leave, and they're left with a chain of command that doesn't really, like click as well as we did. It makes things a little bit more difficult. They were, I mean, I'm sure they're all, great, sailors and great master at arms, but you can only go so far when it comes to your leadership, having your back or not. I was lucky. I mean, I had my personal favorite Lieutenant Markey, if you're out there, I fucking love you. I still can't grow a faux hawk. Still bald. But that dude, I'd go to war with that dude today. If he asked, I'd go. We had good times. I loved being there. Loved being in the military. Yeah, some of it was gay, some of it was fun. But for the most part, it's an adventure. I mean, you don't really know what's going to happen until you're out there doing it. My next adventure in life was getting out. I got out of the military in 2017. So I've been on a hot minute. It's almost been 10 years. That's hard to say out loud because I'm still just a knuckle dragging retard that point me in a direction, I'll do it kind of guy. I have opinions. They're not necessarily everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. You can watch it, you cannot. I mean, what are we really doing? So what FAFO is what the FAFO podcast is I'm going to be talking to you. You're going to talk to me. We're going to have guests occasionally, and we're going to fuck around to find out. We're going to figure this out. This life thing's kind of weird, but we're all here together. When I left the military, I got fat. Got real fat. I stopped working out because nobody was making me do it. And then I got fat. I got big. I got big. I was about 240 at my biggest. My older brother, after I lost a bunch of weight, he's like, "Do you need a sandwich?" My older brother is he's in the military. He's a professional idiot. His words, not mine. No, I'm dead serious. I used to tell people he was a moron, a professional moron, but he was like, "No, I'm a professional idiot." He walks up to bombs on purpose. I love him. Smartest dumb person, or dumbest smart person. I don't know, whichever one. He's a very smart human being, but he does some dumb shit. I love him. Best person, one of the best people I know. I have two younger brothers. And I do believe that I have an older brother and two younger brothers, and I believe our goal is to repopulate the earth. I'm currently winning. I have 8 kids. Yes, I'm fully aware what causes that. That's a lack of a TV. Well, I mean, 2 of them are my stepdaughters. Because I'm on my 3rd marriage. That's what I do. I get married to Latinas and I have kids. That's kind of what it is. My oldest is 21. He's married out and on his own. He's a good dude. Working on changing some things in his life, which I'm proud of him for. I have my second oldest son. He passed away in 2009. He was 3 years old. Sucked. I know. People still like, "I'm really sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's sucky. There's nothing else I can say except for I know." Because you don't know what to say, and neither do I. He's a good kid. He's kid was like a little fearless asshole. He had a mohawk. It was awesome. He was kind of like the brains of the operation when it came to like trouble that my oldest son and him got into. I'll tell you about like shortly after Halloween in 2008. I came back from work and I walked up the stairs. I'm going to take a shower because I just worked for 2 weeks straight. So I get up there and I hear some stuff coming from my bedroom where I just saw my first ex-wife downstairs, um, making dinner or whatever she was doing. I walk up there and I hear voices and I'm like, what's going on? So I crack that door open and I look in there and I see my kids. They'd push up an office chair to my closet because we put their Halloween candy up on the top shelf. And when I opened the door, it was not what I expected. My oldest son was standing on the chair. My youngest son was trying to direct him where the candy was. Like, I watched him until that they got the candy down, and my oldest son David was trying to hand Brett some candy. I'm like, what are you doing? And they just both just jumped real hard. It was funny because and that's the day I figured out that Brett was the mastermind, and it was really funny. It was probably one of my favorite memories. Then I have my first daughter. She is now 17. Oh God, that's rough to say out loud. She's probably one of the sweetest kids I could ever ask for. Then I have my oldest son from my second marriage. His name's Emmett. He's 15. Smart as a whip, kind of quiet, kind of a nerd. I like that. Like, plays D&D with me, which is really kind of funny. Then I have my second youngest daughter. She's 14. Her name's JoJo. Then we have Elena, my baby. She is 10. And then I have my two stepdaughters, Aaliyah, who is also 15, and my youngest stepdaughter, Jada, who is 12. And man, I cannot imagine my life without them. We are currently in the process of emergency custody of our newest addition. His name is Damien. He is currently in the room watching a video, or I don't know what he's doing. Probably watching video game or playing video games or watching TV. He starts school Tuesday. It'll be so much better for my life. Because I like to walk around my house naked. I can't do that with children here. Naked is my natural state. But that's not something I can control right at the moment. I've been married 3 times. This time's the last one, I swear to God. Got married the first time I was young and stupid. Didn't know no better. Second time I thought I was getting married because I loved her. It is what it is. Things didn't work out. No big deal. Lucy, my wife, she is a fucking blast. We are ridiculous, and it's fun. I enjoy it. If we ever get divorced, I swear to God, I'm going to get married for money. You'll see me cruising a nursing home in a Ferrari because I'll be there to pick up my boo. We are... what is it? Seven children deep, so nine people in this house that is not big enough at all. We're working on this place, get it ready to start renting it out, and we are going to be buying another place, hopefully significantly bigger, because that we can't really put everybody here. There's just too many of us, and they're all getting older and bigger, and when I say bigger, I mean just eat you out of house and home bigger. And there's Damien right over there. He is he's gonna go take a big old poopy. I know it. That's how he is. So after I left the military, I started working. I guess you would call them filler jobs. I did medical supply. I delivered medical supply to people in this area. Hated it because it was just like high school, because I went from being an adult, having, real responsibilities, to working at a place where it was just like high school. All the office ladies gossiped all the time. I hated it. I felt like I was an adult in middle school. That's what it felt like, and I hated it. So I left there. My next, sort of job was I drove bus for the county. It was, for RE1 in Cortez, Colorado. Then I went and got, my VA stuff taken care of. And then the child care people wanted to charge me over $1,000 a month, and driving bus, I wasn't even making $1,000. I think I was making $900 a month. Then I quit, and I don't even remember what I did after that. That's actually when I started doing firearms instructing. Once I got done, with my certifications, I went and started a business. It still exists. It's just I don't do it as often. I still occasionally get people call that wants me to teach them some stuff. Then I went back to driving a bus, but I drove for RE6. Excuse me, I'm burping. RE6, which is about 20 minutes away. Did that for a year and some change, and I'll be really honest, I was struggling because I just got divorced for my second wife, and getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be at work by 4:30 to start picking kids up by 6 is not my idea of a good time. I didn't enjoy it. My kids hated it because I would get them up and take them to Mancus with me. It was just not as much fun. They got to sleep in the car and on the buses, but it wasn't something I would suggest. Once I got out of driving bus, I don't even remember what I did. I think I started another business, maybe 2. I'm not sure. I've not been super successful with businesses that I've started, but I work at it. I try hard. The most successful business that I was a part of, I was an insurance broker, and I just hated doing it. It was just not fun. Sitting behind a computer all day, it's not fun. So I stopped doing it. And it was like soul sucking. I hated it. If I could do anything else, I would have. I did, run my grandfather's ranch for a time. Actually, I did that a lot. Probably more than else in my family outside of my grandfather. Actually, I know that for a fact. My grandfather just passed this last April. He, in my eyes, he is still 10 feet tall and bulletproof. That man could outwork anybody. And he was like Oh, what is 35? That's 80, 89? 89. Yeah. He was 89 when he passed. Actually, I have no idea. He was born in 35. So whatever the math is for that. That is 89. He's a cowboy through and through. Like a for real one, not like, just guy that rodeos all the time. That is not what my grandpa did. He is rancher, farmer, whatever you want to call it. We grow hay so we can feed the cows, and he feeds the cows so we can eat the cows. That was that kind of thing. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. When I was about 10, we moved here to Colorado, where my dad is from. Been there ever since, except for the 10 years that I was in the military. I've had a good life. I've had an interesting upbringing. My older brother and I, we were kind of like the troublemaker, part of the children. Then my two younger brothers, they kind of looked at the, dumb things that Adam and I did, and we just were like, no, that's not a thing. We're not doing that. They still did some dumb things, but it wasn't anywhere on the same level as what Adam and I did. If you were to ask my parents, if you were to ask my mom, she would tell you that I was the hard one to raise. Part of that is because I'm just like her. I'm argumentative. I am stubborn as all get out. It's because we're so much alike. That's why it was harder. And I did like to push those boundaries as far as I could push them. Dyslexic, ADHD. I can't say that I have autism outside of I have certain tisms that I like. Guns, shooting long ways. Those things I like. Cars that go real fast. I like those. But that's kind of it. Outside of that, I can't say I have any sort of autism. I'm not that dude. I don't care. But you will see me squirrel from time to time, and that's why. It's because my ADHD is just like, what's that? What the hell is that? That's a fly. Okay, I got it. Never mind. I'm good. Been out of the military for several years. I have discovered I don't do well with having a boss or any sort of real authority figure. So I usually try to do stuff that makes me my own boss. If I got to go buck hay for somebody, I generally do. Except for this year, because I was dumb and I got tossed off a horse. And part of my disability from the VA is I have 3 compressed discs in my lower back and nerve damage. And then I got tossed off this horse, and I'm still not walking at 100%, but I'm closer. But for the most part, I can get out and I can do most things. So there's that. Cut. Hello. I'm recording. Not really. I'm just sort of talking about myself, my kind of history. So. Uh-huh. You already pick up the kids? Oh, meeting them at the Walmart. Oh, fuck that. Yeah, no. That's like an hour and 20 minutes drive one way. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. We are not doing that bullshit. None. We have no vegetable oil. We have. Nope. We have avocado oil and we have olive oil. We have no vegetable oil. If we have vegetable oil, it isn't where the rest of the oils are. Underneath the coffee. Okay, let me go look. Oh, like 3/4. Okay. Sounds delightful. Practice. We have a game. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Maybe. Okay. Yep. That is the correct one. Well, they better fucking send it now. Ah, that's fair. Yeah. Alright. Love you. Bye, babe. Sorry about that. My wife called. She does that often. So, yeah. I have my beat in my ear, so you didn't hear any of the other side of that conversation. Trying to remember where I was at on that. Have no idea. So I will just go ahead and say what I kind of do now. I still do firearms training. I've got away from doing concealed carry classes just because that they're a pain in the ass, really. And the way that USCCA does it, that's who I was certified through. You have to have 20 a year, and in an area where there is 30,000 people spread between, 3 cities, and most of it is, rural area. It's just, it's a little difficult to have them, show up on time or not cancel at the last minute, which happened a lot. I should have had, at least double what was required, but people canceled so much that it was just a pain in the ass. So now I only do like firearm safety. I do a fighting pistol class, a fighting rifle class. I also do a long range class. I also do something called move and shoot, where that they will be shooting while walking and walking forward, walking backward, and side to side. Just for those who really want that kind of thing. I like it. I mean, I do it. I've gotten to where I do figure eights around barrels to shoot, and I like it. But I'm also kind of a nerd that does things that don't really have that much of a practical application. Um, like if I was still in the military or in law enforcement, I probably would. I've gone to school a few times. I, became a welder. Just trying to go to get my AA, which it's weird because I have all the points for it, but not everything that I got from the military transfers to the college and vice versa. So I have more than enough credits. I just not all of it transfers, and I fucking hate algebra. I hate it. That was part of the reason I left, and then the only reason I went back the last time was because I thought I needed a real job, and I was going to be a cop here in Cortez, or a sheriff's deputy, or a marshal, or whatever. I couldn't. I just can't make myself want to sit in a cruiser for however long a day and just run, LiDAR and give people tickets. It's not enjoyable for me. And yes, there are other things like, DVs. Those can be fun. Some of them are ridiculous, but for the most part, I just didn't want to do it. Especially once they got rid of qualified immunity. I was just like, I don't want to do that. Carry your own insurance, that's pricey. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Also, my then girlfriend, which is my wife now, didn't really want me to do that because she found out that I had a TBI. And I was like, yeah, babe, maybe I shouldn't, but whatever. It is what it is. I like being, my own boss, just because I can't really do the whole not tell people that they're fucking stupid to their face. I'm not good at it. So I would tell some stories, but like maybe I shouldn't. There are some stories that I can tell, and I know I can tell them because they were my stories. But there are other things that like I definitely probably shouldn't tell. So I can allude to some of them, and if any of you guys were there, you would know exactly what I was talking about. But outside of that, I ride my Harley. I go jeeping. I go to my kids' stuff as much as I can. If you live in the Four Corners area and you have a kid that goes to school in Cortez, middle school, high school, you know who I am because I'm loud. As a matter of fact, I have a soccer game to go to tonight for my youngest, and I will be excessively loud there. But for the most part, it is what it is. So what is FAFO about? So we're going to have conversations. I hope to have a couple of guests here pretty quick. I'm still trying to nail those down. Those guys that I want to talk to, it's significantly harder because they don't live anywhere close. Teammates, friends, family members that I haven't. Well, I have some video of my mom's side of the family because I was gonna do a documentary about my mom's side of the family. My mom's side of the family, I can honestly and truthfully tell you that my grandfather is James Bond. He is the real deal. I like to say that because most people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." But I have that going on. I'm trying to do that. I've misplaced some of the videos. I'm not sure where they are, but I pray that I can find them all and get that all edited together and get that to my generation. Maybe not the generation that I interviewed, but the generation that is next. Okay, I might try to get it done sooner rather than later so that my mom can watch it. Outside of that, I don't really care. So when I say FAFO, it's not like the FAFO that you hear a lot. Like, oh, you want to fuck around and find out? No. Mine is more like, now let's fuck around and find out. Let's have a drink, have some conversation. Let's FAFO. Let's fuck around and find out, guys. Let's sit around, have some drinks, talk about it. Is my political beliefs going to come up? Probably. Is my guest political beliefs going to come up? Probably. Are we going to spend a lot of time on it? Probably not. Am I going to talk about Charlie Kirk? Yes, I am. That was a mess up situation. And there's a lot of like weird conspiracy theories that are going around right now that I'm just like, no, your weird conspiracy just doesn't make sense. Sorry. After watching the unfortunate event live, I knew he was shot. I didn't hear that he'd passed until about 30 or 40 minutes later when I went to pick up a truck from one of my aunts so I could go sell a horse. When I got into her truck, the radio was playing and it said that Charlie had passed, which was very sad. Erica, my condolences are 100% yours. That is completely unfortunate. Your children should not have to grow up without a father, especially for what he did for a living. He was a good dude. I can't say I agreed with him on everything because I haven't heard everything he had to say, but for the most part I agreed with him. He was a normal dude, and he was very proud of his life. He should not have passed the way he did, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. All I can really say about that whole situation is I thought that the left was supposed to be, the peace-loving, non-violent people. But here lately, I don't see it anymore. I'm not left or right, so I can, I gotta make fun of both. I'm independent. I am registered independent. When I started out, I was a Republican. I didn't really know what else to do. I mean, my mom was Republican. My dad was a Democrat, but I didn't find that out till later. Also, my dad was gay, so there's that. So it kind of makes sense. My dad passed last November. We're coming up on a year, which is hard for me because Halloween is just around the corner. Christmas and Halloween was my dad's jam. So my political leanings are kind of in the middle. I'm right on some things. I'm left on others. My opinion is my opinion. As far as I'm concerned, do you, boo boo. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, I don't care. The only thing that I really will say out of my political beliefs at all is I don't listen to left. I don't listen to right. I think for myself. God gave you a brain for a reason. If you believe in God, I don't know what your inclinations are. God gave you a brain for a reason. You should use it. If you don't believe in God, the universe, designed you this way. I don't really care what your political leanings are. My political leanings are I don't really care when it comes to certain issues. I have a lot of opinions when I have when it comes to like other things. I have different leanings, but generally if it just makes sense, I usually will vote for that. I'm not gonna say people should run out and buy a gun, because I don't really believe everybody needs to have a gun. I think that most people should try to be the peacemaker. I mean, my father was a peacemaker, and I can honestly say that. I don't have the temperament for that shit, so I don't do that. I'll try like hell, but that's just not me. I am kind of running out of things to say here outside of welcome to the channel. This is my intro to your host. I probably won't talk about myself very much from this point forward, outside of maybe giving my opinions. This will be the first and last time that I talk about myself like this. I'm uncomfortable doing it. I will probably delete this video if I don't like the way that it come out. So, yeah. Peace out.